where strength is the only currency for peace, where a political past refuses to die, and where a celebrity suit threatens to eclipse a half-century of science. Tonight, the high-stakes battle being waged from the shores of Taiwan to the courtrooms of Peru and the boardrooms of global sports. This is the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. The headlines. Taiwan's leadership stands firm against Chinese annexation plans. Peruvian political veteran Keiko Fujimori announces 2026 presidential bid. Lee Jae-myung warns Asia-Pacific of trade slowdown. Greece launches €2.5 billion strategy to combat drought and water scarcity. We'll begin in the Pacific, where the line between sovereignty and submission is being redrawn. Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te firmly rejected China's push to apply its one country, two systems model to the island, telling soldiers that Taiwan must uphold its sovereignty, freedom, and democracy while strengthening self-defense. Lai pledged to raise military spending to 5% of GDP by 2030 and highlighted the commissioning of Taiwan's first M1A2T Abrams tank battalion, with 80 of 108 tanks already delivered by the United States. No major political party in Taiwan supports Beijing's proposal, and Lai emphasized that preserving the island's democratic way of life should not be viewed as provocation. While U.S. officials continued arms support, China warned that unification is an irreversible trend, heightening regional tensions. Halfway across the globe, political drama unfolds in Peru. Keiko Fujimori, daughter of the late former President Alberto Fujimori, confirmed she will run for president in Peru's April 2026 election, days after the Constitutional Court dismissed a money laundering case against her linked to alleged illegal campaign funds from 2011 and 2016. A three-time presidential runner-up, Fujimori's last bid in 2021 ended in defeat to Pedro Castillo, who was later impeached. The court ruled the charges could not be applied retroactively, clearing her of allegations that she and her party received up to $17 million from companies. As she seeks to revive her political fortunes, her campaign underscores the resilience of a political legacy that continues to shape Peru's polarized electoral landscape. From political legacies to global economies, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung called the Asia-Pacific region a critical inflection point amid shifting global trade dynamics while chairing the APEC summit in Gyeongju, attended by Chinese President Xi Jinping and U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Highlighting that the APEC bloc accounts for 50% of global trade and 61% of GDP, Lee urged member economies to cooperate despite differences, emphasizing that collaboration is key to sustaining growth as trade tension and investment slowdowns increase economic uncertainty. With the region at a crossroad, leaders are grappling with how to preserve prosperity in a world where alliances are tested and markets fluctuate. Meanwhile, Europe faces its own crisis, but of a different kind. Greece plans to invest around €2 billion over the next 30 years to secure water supplies as prolonged drought and rising demand strain resources. The strategy includes diverting water via tunnels, building desalination plants, boring wells, and consolidating local irrigation networks under major utilities to modernize infrastructure and reduce leakages, which currently account for 50% of the losses. The country faces the second highest water stress in southern Europe as rainfall has dropped 25% and evaporation risen 15% since 2022. With climate change intensifying scarcity, Greece's plan signals that water security is no longer a future concern. It is a race against a drying clock. You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. We now turn to a sharp ideology break that is sending shockwave through Europe's human rights community. Latvia's parliament voted to quit the Istanbul Convention on combating violence against women after a conservative party broke ranks with the government to support withdrawal. passing the measures 56 to 44. Opponents argue that the treaty's definition of gender as a social construct goes beyond biological sex, claiming existing national laws already protect women. The decision sparked protests in Riga, with critics warning it damages Latvia's international reputation and undermines EU's commitments. As Europe watches, Latvia's move highlights a growing tension between political ideology and human rights obligation. Across the Atlantic, natural disaster strikes. Canada announces $7 million in humanitarian relief for Caribbean nations impacted by Hurricane Melissa, with $5 million allocated for emergency response and health services and $2 million to the World Food Programme for food distribution in Jamaica. Secretary of State Randeep Sarai emphasized Canada's readiness to provide relief supplies for emergency stockpiles.
Our government is providing $7 million in humanitarian assistance.
While Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand said military assistance could be deployed if requested. The Category 5 storm has caused widespread destruction in Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti, leaving dozens dead and infrastructure damage, though no Canadian casualties have been reported. As Caribbean communities struggle to recover, Canada's swift support underscores that in the wake of natural disasters, solidarity is measured not just in words, but in action. We turn to the surreal theater of pop culture. Reality star Kim Kardashian sparked controversy after claiming on her TV show The Kardashians that the 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing didn't happen, citing alleged interviews with astronaut Buzz Aldrin. NASA acting administrator Sean Duffy quickly rebutted her statement on social media, emphasizing that humans have landed on the moon 6 times, inviting Kardashian to witness the launch of Kennedy Space Center. Despite decades of scientific evidence debunking moon landing conspiracies, Kardashian insisted she centers conspiracy all the time. While entertainment often flirts with disbelief, science remains unshaken. No conspiracy can eclipse half a century of human footsteps on the moon. Finally, in the world of sports, a sprint towards accountability exposes shadows. World Athletics revealed that 2 employees and a contracted consultant systematically stole more than 1.5 million euros over several years of fraud uncovered during its first annual audit under new financial leadership. The organization terminated the remaining contract, referred the cases to judicial authorities, and conducted an independent forensic review, which found no further fraudulent activity. World Athletics plan to introduce enhanced internal financial controls to prevent future misconduct. The incident underscores that even prestigious global sport bodies are vulnerable to internal corruption. Transparency and accountability must never be an option, but enforced with unwavering diligence. Tonight, these stories remind us that leadership, accountability, and resilience aren't just political ideas. They shape lives, economies, and community every day. Whether defending democracy, rebuilding after disaster, or safeguarding trust with trust, the world is watching, and so are we. For Top Accolade News, I'm Ojarumi Okocha. Do have a wonderful day, and keep watching the global news updates on Top Accolade News.